Morning, guys. That's what I think of this morning on the fly trying to drink my coffee. Thought I'd do a little front yard update. I haven't done one in a while. It's just been raining too much and life's been crazy. So, here's my little, I guess, window box that's hung on the side of my porch. Anybody want a Miller Lite? The joys of living in the middle of town. But anyway, these are lemon cucumbers. I planted them a little later than I did the ones that are there that have died or are dying. So hopefully I didn't make you sick. I didn't follow Larkspur's advice and trim those back. I did on this side and it worked, but I didn't on that side, and yeah, it went a little crazy. So after it blooms, I'm going to chop it back down to the ground and hope for the best. The grapevines, as you can see, have totally went nuts. I mean, we've cut them back from here. They were growing up into the tree and everywhere. But the only grapes that are on there are those and those and a little bunch on the other side that doesn't look any better. So it's going bye-bye. Everything's overgrown. I've got a lot of work to do this week, and hopefully before I go on my trip Sunday, get everything done. The comfrey needs cut back down again. There's not much going on this side. There's my little protest to my neighbor. The squash vine borers got my zucchini. I did get 2 zucchinis off of it, but that was it. Grapevine, or not grapevine, watermelon's in there right now. I took some of the cucumbers out of that pot so the watermelon would do better, and put them over here. They're doing okay. And I have strawberries coming on again. Must be the summer variety, or everbearing. I'm not sure which one they were, because I just took ones out of pots and planted them up here. I've got sunflowers. The zucchini plant that was here was doing really well and got really big. I hadn't produced anything yet, and I noticed it had squash vine borers, so I ripped it up prematurely. When I ripped it up, I realized it had started growing roots on the other end of the thing that wasn't affected, and at the time I didn't know you could cut it open and take out the squash vine borers. So I've done some research, and hopefully I can replant and maybe get a late harvest. This is the purple rattlesnake pole beans. I just planted these for seeds, so I'm out of seeds, and really that plant is doing leaps and bounds. Well, there are a few of them. I think there's only 2. It's doing wonderful in comparison to last year. The sunflowers on this side of the yard do not reach full height, as you can tell from those sunflowers. Same stuff. So this is lemongrass. Finally found some of it, and I've got nasturtiums everywhere. They like this side of the yard, and tucked in over here, they don't like that side much. I don't know why, but they like being tucked in under stuff. This, I'm really hoping all of that is the Jerusalem artichokes, because I got in there and was looking. That's only 3 plants. All that is only 3 plants. The corn and the corn didn't do so well with the sunflowers. I really thought they would grow up together, but the sunflowers outgrew them and shaded them out and didn't work out so well. Here are my crimson pole beans. I planted them on this side of the arbor, and I got a white wisteria to go on that side. So this year, while that's getting established, we're gonna have those, and the little red blooms are really pretty. So this, if you remember in the last video, is the chrysanthemum that looks like daisies. I mean, it's huge. It's kind of shading out my hostas, but it's getting about time for them to go anywhere or die down. Trimmed back my thyme, cleaned out this whole area. Yeah, that didn't last long. Didn't get mulch on it in time. The roses rebloomed though. Got a sunflower that I transferred because it wasn't doing well over there underneath all the others. And it's really taken off growing, so hopefully. And I've got sunflowers in different stages of growth here and there. Sorry, hands going to sleep. That is chocolate mint and lemon balm, which I've never been able to grow that stuff in pots. I started using terracotta instead of plastic, and I put them in my beds, and they're doing wonderful. I planted a little yellow knockout rose back there. Some English lavender. Sweet potatoes look a lot better than they did, and I planted little mini Mexican cucumbers, or watermelons, whatever you want to call them, in the middle. So I really wasn't holding out much hope for any sweet potato harvest out of there. So here is the little tiny cucumber plants from the first video. They have went nuts, and they produce, it's just 2 plants, and it produces these giant cucumbers. I'm gonna have to get out here and harvest before I go to work. Cherry, my volunteer cherry tomato. It's got a little bit of blight. Blueberry bushes are hiding in there. There's 3 of them. The wildflowers didn't work out so well. They just fell over, and they're growing through the fence. So, which I just wanted to get them established this year. Hopefully next year when they come up, there won't be all this other stuff. And I really learned my lesson with the Swiss chard. Swiss chard loves my front yard, and almost probably would have grown to be as tall as me if I didn't keep trimming it back. And it kind of shaded out my pepper plants for a while, but they've recovered and are setting on some peppers. So, and they got taller than it. Here's the other little tiny cucumber plants that were planted right there. And I had to use a double-tiered tomato cage for it, and it still doesn't hold it all. These are supposed to be the smaller cucumbers, and they're not. Some are, some aren't. Anyway, and all that's sweet potatoes. I don't know if you had seen in the last, oh, I hadn't done that in the last video. I was talking about doing it. So I extended that, planted sweet potatoes. There's a hosta in there somewhere. Sunflowers. Those are the multi-head ones. I love those. My dead lemon cucumber. The jalapeno has come back out of its funk and was setting on but I noticed some of them have done this. So I don't know what its problem is. I've done everything I know to do and have looked up to do, so we'll just hope for the best. I still have some jalapenos from last year, so we'll be okay. The morning glories went crazy and took off, as I had hoped they'd do, and pretty much have done what I wanted them to do. The raspberries all put off new canes, bloomed, and are setting on new fruit. I got probably a bucket, not a bucket, but a small bowl full of carrots and potatoes out of that little area. I've been trying to dig out the squash vine borers. I'm not sure if I should cover that with dirt or what, or if it's just a losing battle, because I have them everywhere. See the corn amongst the sunflowers. Swiss chard. I'm getting ready to clean this area up and replant peas. And here are the bush beans. Gosh, I think those are, I forget which variety. Blue Lake maybe. And these were the yellow wax ones. Got a watermelon randomly coming up. And this half of the squash looks really healthy and is putting off these little things. I think that's acorn squash. I can't remember. And broccoli. There's some cabbage in there. There's another shot of the crazy. This sunflower topped out at about 11 foot. I think it was taller than my, probably that rough, I believe it was taller. So, there's a shot of what's going on. Everything is just really overgrown, and I gotta get out here and get some work done and some trimming back, and hopefully get it looking good again. Oh yeah, there's a volunteer squash plant over here that apparently the squash vine borers have found. But the chrysanthemums that look like daisies are doing pretty good over here. There's the other half of that pot, and believe it or not, there's some ivy in there. Giant hosta. The lilies bloomed and are dying back. I think I'm gonna cut them, see if I can get a second bloom out of them this year. Usually I can. I didn't eat all my lettuce quite enough. It's went crazy. I cut that back. Still got a sedum. It's looking pretty good. It was just a few little sprigs last time. There's a cabbage in there. 2 broccolis. And a Swiss chard hiding back there. I took one of the broccolis out because the bugs found them. I was hoping they wouldn't amongst all the flowers, and they did. So, but it looks much better now that it's over there. Which is crazy. I just took it from there and put it there, and it looks better. It's nuts. But it's grown pretty thick and tall and strong, so it looks like there's a broccoli head starting on it. So despite the little ugly leaves, it's making a head. I think I need to get some compost on that. It's looking pretty bratty. But sorry I yacked. It's kind of a long video. Hope y'all have a good day.